gentlemen, please welcome the master of mayhem, Craig Charles.
You know, when our robots fight, they're judged on 4 things. Damage, how much do they destroy? Aggression, how much do they want to destroy? Style, do they destroy with panache? And control, are they destroying what they're meant to destroy? Are you picking up the theme here? Then, that's what you're in for. Are you ready to rock? Johnathan, who's up to it this week?
Thanks, Craig. What a great night to be settled around the war zone or up here in the crow's nest. We've got some superb robots for you. Let's see how they line up in round 1. First up, world champions Razer. They've never won the UK title against newcomers Big Nipper. Sumpthing against Widow's Revenge. Wait till you see them. Axe-c-dent could burst the Destruct-A-Bubble, and Suicidal Tendencies meet Rick.
Well, of course, Johnathan, the current world champion, Razer, has to be a favourite in this heat. But word in the pits, not that I'm one to gossip, you understand, is that they have serious opposition in female form. Who else is in the heat? Eco-robotic warriors Sumpthing return with improved power and a weapon that can cause some serious damage, so they say. But they've never really proved themselves in the arena, with durability being their main shortcoming, proved in their second-round battle against Mousetrap in the 4th Wars. Destruct-A-Bubble's back, as ridiculous as ever. And perhaps Razer's only real threat is Suicidal Tendencies. They've learnt a lot of lessons over 3 years in competition, and that's why they're ranked 21st. And Razer themselves. Painful, lethal, terrifying. Need I say more? Anyway, as I was saying, just to fill you in on the gossip, Widow's Revenge, that's what we're all talking about, because that team is made up of the Razer Boys' partners. They were all so fed up of never seeing their husbands and boyfriends that they thought, we'll get together and build a robot of our own. That way, A, we might get to spend some time with our other halves, and B, we might beat them. So, let's hope they do. First up, though, Razer is against Big Nipper.
Say bye-bye to Mr. Nice. Let the wars begin.
From Bournemouth, Razer.
Part bird, part reptile, the new self-running mechanism unique. They also have a larger front scoop now, and the famous crushing beak is even more powerful.
From Cone, Big Nipper.
A debut team, crushing and lifting beetle-like jaws should raise and turn over opponents, they hope. Also has titanium spikes, a top speed of 10 miles an hour, 4-wheel drive, no experience though.
Robotwars, stand by.
The Big Nipper hopefuls, Harold and Mark Lum and Graham Dawson, and Razer, of course, Simon Scott, Ian Lewis and Vinnie Blood. Dead metals in the arena for the house robots, the pincer, the saw, the synergy between. And Shunt, perhaps more brutal with the scoop and the diamond-edged axe.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Razer there on the left-hand side. Very quick start, but something has been broken on that initial onslaught on the Big Nipper. It's part of the self-riding mechanism that has flown away from Razer, beset by mechanical problems in the UK Championships. The reigning world champions have never won the domestic title. Now they're trying to claw their way back into this fight, causing destruction to Big Nipper, biting their way through. But there you can see flailing, useless now, part of that unique self-righting mechanism. When you see Razer at its best, with a flourish in its performance, it is spellbinding. Big Nipper trying desperately to get away. Well, if you crush a beetle, it rains and rains and rains. And punishment raining down on Big Nipper now from Razer, hoisting them into the air. Look at that, slicing in. Big Nipper onto the flames to burn out what electrical control they have left, slamming down. The Nipper is big on resolve, if nothing else. One of its beetle-like jaws has been buckled upwards. Razer on the attack, and this is a very good and therefore very surprising first battle for Razer. I thought they'd stroll this against the new boys. So all credit to Graham Dawson at the controls of Big Nipper and Mark Lum at the weapons. Onto the angle grinder at the side of the arena. The sparks fly. Big Nipper drives back on the Razors, the heavier of the two machine. Razor's weight actually kept down by all those perforations you can see there. It's deliberate, it's not some mechanical mistake. Out comes Shunt with a push. Dead metal in there as well. Down comes the beak of this part bird, part reptile. They think it's the coolest machine in the world, Simon Scott, Ian Lewis and Vinnie Blood. Boys, you would. They shove it against the scoop of Shunt there. It being Big Nipper. Oh, and Shunt's diamond edge axe. The hardest material there is, slicing into Big Nipper. So that allows Razer to release its own beak. You've been nipped. You have been nipped in the bud, more like, for Big Nipper. And Razer, despite the damage, and they'll need work in the pitch, go through. But it wasn't with the flourish we expected. Big Nipper counted out. The Razer boys celebrate.
Well, Big Nipper, what an unfortunate robot. It gave such a good account of itself, but it came up against the claw of the mighty Razer. The winner is Razer! Well, you know you were in a fight there.
We certainly were, weren't we?
He came out straight at you.
Yeah.
He hit you really hard. You could feel the scaffolding shaking. Your self-righting arm disintegrated. And I thought, oh, they're going to do it to me again.
It took us a while to realise what had come off. We thought, was it a bit of them? Is it a bit of... Oh, no!
Big Nipper. What a robot.
Tough machine, wasn't it? Tough machine. Give us a hard fight. But it was a good fight.
I bet he's gutted, though. You know, imagine coming up against you. Anyone else, he might have taken them apart.
And he hardly driven it at all, but I think he drove brilliantly.
Yeah,
that's big praise for them. That's their first war.
Very well.
Excellent done. First time of effort. Brilliant.
Are you going to do it this year?
Well, we'll either do it or we'll just bust it. Bust it, Craig.
Oh, come on. You've got to try it. I want to see you in the final, at least.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the mighty Razer!
Razer as expected going through, but not in an expected way. Big Nipper out, next up Sumpthing, and watch for Widow's Revenge.
From Nutley, Widow's Revenge.
Wives and girlfriends of the Razer team, the Robot Widows came together and built a robot as a revenge for lonely nights, endless tea runs, bacon sandwiches, and having to put up with hours of techno-babble. They described this as a fridge on wheels with a rolling pin weapon.
From Leicester, Sumpthing.
They say this is an ecologically sound robot powered by 4 recycled 800-watt car starter motors. It has a multi-purpose hydraulic system, a crusher axe lifter, and top speeds of 20 miles an hour, the fastest in the heat.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Widow's Revenge team, Gilly Blood, Emily Cathcart, and Fiona Mason, and their Dig and Jeff Germani of Sumpthing. Sir Kilowatts in the arena, Eco-Warrior. Are you sure? He doesn't mind what he crushes nor recycles. Shunt with a diamond edge axe and scoop. Hardly has a conscience either.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Widow's Revenge have also advertised their machine as extremely attractive, slim, and would like to meet a similar robot for cosy nights in. Well, Sumpthing has no plans for a cosy night in, I can tell you. With the circular blades at the front driving up. That blade system is also a crusher, a lifter, and the rolling pin there you see on Widow's Revenge is actually a kinetic spinning weapon. And part scoop as well, Sumpthing on the attack, slamming down. 98 kilos of machinery there. It is the lighter, only slightly. It certainly is the quicker. Gilly Blood Vinnie's misses at the controls of Widow's Revenge with Emily Cathcart and Fiona Mason, and doing a good job too. At the moment, broadside on to Sumpthing. They invited an attack which didn't come from Sumpthing. Now, I wonder if Dig and Jeff Germaini have missed a trick there, but they pressed the pit release, and Widows, you need to get out of the way now very quickly. Has something gone wrong with Sumpthing? I think it has. And if the Widows sense here, they can come in for the kill as the clock ticks down to a judge's decision. Will the mascara run in the Widow's Revenge team if they get the decision against them?
Both robots labouring towards the end there. We're going to have to go to our esteemed judges. They'll be looking at style, control, damage and aggression.